Loud. Okay, good. We are good to go. Let's see how many people joined. Ira, Myra, Stuti, Naisha, Han. Then, okay. Probably people will join. Yes, they rhyme. Okay, I think kids are still joining. We can start with Namokar mantra and little bit of revision and let the other kids join at the same time. Okay, let's fold our hands, everyone, and say Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayiriyanam, Namo Vajayanam, Namo Panchanamakaro Savvapavapanasana Dhyanam cha Save.
Swarupadi, you are on mute. Can't hear you.
When did that happen? Okay. Kevali pannatto dhammo guttamo chattari sharanam pavvajjami arhant sharanam pavvajjami siddhe sharanam pavvajjami sahu sharanam pavvajjami kevali pannattam dhammam sharanam pavvajjami. Okay.
But why do you keep glitching?
I don't know. Everybody can hear me, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So, what did we learn? What did we learn in the last class? Jeev, Ajeev. है ना? Jeev, and we learned about Jeev and we learned about Ajeev. Give me two examples of Jeev. Two examples. Okay, yes, Myra.
A human being
Hmm?
and bugs.
And bugs. Okay, Ira.
Feelings.
Humans. One more.
Senses.
No, you not senses. Yes, Tuti. Bolo.
Senses. I just said senses.
Oh, you said senses? I thought Ira said. No. So two examples of Jeev. Two examples of living being. Do you know two examples? No. So Myra said humans and bugs. Does it ring a bell? Anybody else wants to answer this question? Yes, Agam?
What's the question?
The question is, give me two examples of Jeev, of living
Animals and humans.
animals and humans. Good.
Animals, humans, plants.
Yes, good job, Agam.
A lion,
Lion,
a bird,
a bird.
and a whale.
Okay, give me three. I just asked two. Ida, you already answered, beta. Who else? Naisha. Yes.
And a duck.
Duck and I didn't hear the first one.
Deer.
Deer, yes. They both are living beings. They both are alive. Okay. Now give me two examples of Ajeev. 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 Okay. Yes.
Computer and iPad.
Computer and iPad. Yeah.
Excuse me.
The closest thing. Okay, Myra.
Cars and chairs.
What and chairs? Sorry, I didn't hear first one.
Cars.
Okay. Yes. Yes, Ira.
Raise your hand now.
Clocks
Mhm.
and clocks and shelves.
Okay. Yes, Mimansa, what is your son's name?
Namya.
Namya? Okay, Namya, go ahead.
Beach and Disney. Two places.
Disney?
Disney
What is,
and beach. Beach.
what is beet? The beetroot?
No, beach. Beach. Sand and water. The beach. Beach.
Water.
Sand and
Bee.
water. Beach.
No, he's
Sand
saying
and
the
what?
beach. Like the beach location, the beach.
Oh, I see. Beach.
Yeah,
Sand and
and-
water beach. Okay, sorry.
I can one.
And second
Then
example,
I already said
Example,
land.
Disneyland.
Disneyland. But Disneyland has lot of things. Which one do you refer to?
Disneyland, like
Disneyland has
specific,
Disneyland
right?
has living beings too. It has all the characters alive. Doesn't it?
Then roller coaster and water.
Water.
Roller coaster and water. Okay, so roller coaster is correct. Water we'll come back to later. Okay.
It has
Agam.
what?
Sorry, say it again, beta.
Animals.
Main, Ajeev.
Oh,
Ajeev. No
share
living.
tables.
Hmm.
Non-living things.
Non-living things. Okay, good. Okay, anybody else? I didn't ask the question. Yes, Naisha.
And tent.
Sorry, what is it?
Ball and tent.
Ball and tent?
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Hmm.
In Nintendo Switch. In Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes, you all are pretty much right. So, Namme, you said water. Water is alive. Okay. But that will come to later. Okay. Because
Putting out a fire, basically killing fire.
and water. Both.
Oh.
Okay. So, water and fire is alive. Okay. It's not. No, don't say anything. Okay. So there are certain living beings. Water is just their body or fire is their body. Okay. So that's little different, but but like cupboard, chairs, walls, windows, houses, cars, lamps, all of this is non-living being. Namya, you have question?
Yes.
Yes.
What? When you drink, the water that you drink does not.
That's why you need to drink filtered water. And filtered meaning not the filters that are out there like Brita filter and the filter that goes under your sink, but the cloth filter. Okay. In Jainism, you have to filter the water with the cloth so that you don't harm any living beings. Okay. Yes, Myra, you raised your hand.
So, how come fire and water are alive?
Yeah. So every time you lit a fire, there is a Jeev in there. That fire is the body of that Jeev. Okay. So there are 5 types like that.
Fire means
Water, fire, earth,
I
air, earth, air, and so Prithvi ka ek, Jal ka ek, Agni ka ek, Vayu ka ek, and Vanaspati means plants. So plants are also in that category. They have only one sense, which
How
is
about
the first sense. Okay, listen to me now. Go on mute, please. Everybody go on mute.
mute?
I hear a lot of background noise. Okay, so these 5 types: water, fire, earth, air, and plants. These 5 types are one sense living being. Somebody is still speaking. Please go on mute. Who's that?
All of you.
Yes, thank you. So these 5 things has only one sense. What is that one sense? Is feel. Means they have just touch. Okay, they have just one sense, which is touch. But other things like humans have 5 senses. Some of the animals have 5 senses, some has 4. In animal, you have different variety. Some have 5, some have 4, some have 3, some have 2. Nobody has 6.
No, an animal can have 6.
6 senses.
Yeah.
What is the 6th sense?
They're duck-billed
Platypus?
have 6 senses.
Yeah, but that 6th sense is like something that they can feel or they can predict. But it's not actually a sense. The senses are always 5. Okay. What are the 5 senses? Touch, taste, smell, see, and listen. Okay. This is how in order you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's easier to remember. 5 means touch. Touch is everywhere. Wherever your skin is, the whole body. And then taste, your tongue. Smell, which is nose. See, sight, eyes. And then listening is ears. Those are the 5 senses. Yes, Himadri?
Small insects. They can't.
Himadri, you want to say something? You're on mute. I can't hear you. You have to unmute. Yes, you are on mute now.
So I forgot.
Okay. All right. So what is the next question? What else did we learn about Jeev and Ajeev? What else did we learn about Jeev and Ajeev? What is Jeev? What is the definition of Jeev that we learned? Yes, Myra.
I wasn't going to say anything.
You weren't going to say anything? Okay. Okay, Namya, what is the definition of Jeev?
See? Then why did you raise your hand? That's okay, come back.
That's okay. Yes,
You
Agam.
can ask your question about plants. Come back.
Living.
और क्या
The living.
लिविंग के अलावा
Like
Yeah, they are
bird.
living.
नहीं
How
एग्जांपल
do we know? How do we know they are living? What are the properties or characteristics of Jeev? Yes,
What?
Himadri.
Knowledge. So who can feel is people.
Who can?
Who can who can feel and who has knowledge.
Yes. So knower and seer, right? We talked about this. So who can see and who can know? Or somebody who has the ability to gain knowledge. That was first point. The second point was the one that feels pain and pleasure. So only living being has the ability to feel the pain and pleasure both. Okay, that one I'm just sharing. So then what are the characteristics of non-living being? The opposite of what we said, the one who does not know or does not see, the one who does not feel pain or pleasure or happiness or sorrow. A Jeev or the non-living being do not feel pain. If you hit the table, who will feel the pain? Who is more likely to feel the pain? Yes, Himadri.
People.
People. Okay. That is correct. And at the end of the class, we said that why we need to learn about Jeev and Ajeev. We need to learn about Jeev and Ajeev because if we don't know the difference between Jeev and Ajeev, then we don't know that the body is different from the soul and I am the soul and the body is separate from me. And if you don't know that, then you cannot start your journey of Nirvana. Because Arihant Parmeshti, Siddha Parmeshti does not have body. Okay, he is just soul, just like us. We are also same type. We have all the needed properties to become God. Okay. So I will leave the revision up to this point. I also want to start a new chapter or the new topic called Gatiya. Okay, Gatiya means Gati. If we are talking about one Gati, we will say Gati. If it is more than one, then we say Gatiya, which means 4 Gatis. Okay. So how many? Okay, so now let's have a volunteer from you to read the definition of Gati. How about that? Okay, I'll ask you, Han. Give me a minute, okay? Any volunteer who wants to read what is shown on the screen?
Can I read?
Okay, so many volunteers. I'll have to choose one by one, okay? Excuse me. Okay, so there are many slides that we have to read. So just put your hands down. I'll ask you one by one. Whoever, I think Ahan's hand went first. I'm just gonna let him read, but you have to read loudly and everybody should be able to understand. Where is your screen? Not that. Everybody can see whatever I'm sharing on screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Yes. So you have to read from there. It's just read the first line, this one.
Gati, the particular state of any living being is called Gati.
Okay, that's it. Okay, so what did we read? Gati, the particular state of any living being is called Gati. Is there any question about this one? And we'll elaborate a little bit more. Okay, so next, Myra, can you read the next line from because?
Because of the fruition of Gati Nama Karma, the living being has particular shape form and related thoughts like the human form, etc.
Okay. Human form, etc. So what it said is because of the fruition of Gati Nam Karma, the living being has particular shape form and related thoughts like the human form, etc. Now, what it means is we will know in a minute. We'll discuss it in a minute. But before we discuss that, can we talk about which 4 gatis are there? There is already a picture on the screen and I know a lot of you know what 4 gatis are there. So I'm not going to ask you. We're just going to repeat because need to move along the class quickly. So there are 4 gatis. Okay. We should know these 4 gatis. Okay. The first is Manushya Gati. Manushya Gati is humans. Okay. So you can say either humans or Manushya Gati. It's the same thing. The second one is animals or Tiryanch Gati. You can say either animals or Tiryanch. Third one is Dev Gati or heavenly state, or you can say angels probably. Okay, so Dev Gati, heavenly or heavenly state or angels. And the fourth one is Narak Gati. Narak Gati is hell. The state, the whatever state you are in the hell is called Narak Gati. But what I would recommend is that let's learn all these 4 names in Hindi. Okay, so Manushya Gati, Dev Gati, Tiryanch Gati, and Narak Gati. Okay, what are the 4 gatis? Manushya Gati, Dev Gati, Tiryanch Gati, and Narak Gati. So these are the 4 gatis. Dev is angels in the heaven.
We say that first.
We can say it in any order. Okay, so now let's say let's read the definition one more time. Gati. The particular state of any living being is called Gati. So if we go by that definition, which Gati are we in? What is our state?
Manushya Gati.
Manushya Gati.
I at the top line you
I repeated everything because I have to make you understand also. No, it's not about just reading. Yeah,
I didn't hear you read this.
I did. Okay. So now the second thing is, because of the fruition of Gati Nam Karma, the living being has particular shape, form, and related thoughts like human form. What does it mean? It means that whatever type of karmas that we do in our life or in our previous life. So we are in a human state in this life because in our previous life, we did some kind of particular type of karmas because of which we got to be human in this life. Does it make sense? Or is it too confusing?
Easy.
It's easy. So just remember that. Or let's not talk about our previous life, but let's say whatever karma we do in this life, based on those type of karmas, we will go in any of these gati next. That makes sense? Okay, so based on whatever type of karmas we gain during our lifetime, we go next into any of these gatis based on how we do our karmas. Okay, and then it is done. It is decided based on it's not decided, but it is called a Nam Karma, Gati Nam Karma. Okay. So, based on whatever state we will become in the next birth, that would be our Gati. Okay? Yes.
दी एक क्वेश्चन है. So
हाँ.
I was just telling आगम बोला कि नहीं एक ही बर्थ होता है या एक ही बर्थ है, तो फिर मैंने उसको बोला कि नहीं, you have taken birth many more times previously. For example, I said maybe you were a plant or maybe you were some animal. So he said if I was a plant, then how did so I was telling him कि may depending on तुमने good stars gather किए होगे इसलिए तुम human बने. तो वो पूछ रहा था कि अगर मैं प्लांट था तो फिर मैंने गुड स्टार्स कैसे गैदर किया, आई मीन जस्ट टू एक्सप्लेन हिम गुड कर्मा. सो आई डिड नॉट हैव अ आंसर फॉर इट. कैन यू आंसर इट?
Yeah. Okay. So if you are a plant, or for that matter, if you are earth or anything else that do not have many means to do good things, right? That's what you are thinking, that, okay, if I'm a plant, I can't really do anything. Then how did I gather good karmas or bad karmas, right? Which is right. So you don't really become human after becoming a plant. So there is a process. There are certain rules, okay? Meaning that if you are a one sense living being, then most likely if you are uplifting yourself, that upliftment will happen gradually. So anybody or any soul, they spend most of their time in Tiryanch Gati, because Tiryanch Gati, you become one sense per living being, then 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense. It is with very rare, it is very rare to have all 5 senses and also become human. That's why we say that, it's a human life, don't waste it, because you got everything that you need to uplift yourself. Does it make sense? So to answer your question, yes, you are right. You directly don't become from plant into human. You have to go to many places. So let's say you are a plant, then maybe you are an ant, then maybe you are then you become and you means not you like anyone. What is the 4 senses? The male bee, bhavra, what do you call it? Carpenter bee. What is bhavra called? It has 4 senses. And then there are 5 senses animals too, like tigers, lions, cow, right? And then from there, you again do good karmas and then become human. Okay.
But do you, like, is it a compulsion that we will become human after we have come to the state of 5 senses, Tiryanjagati state?
Not really. It all depends on your karma. There is no such rule. But we have, in our Karnanu Yoga Shastra ji, right? There are, like they say that once you come out of Nigodya, so lot of living beings stay in the Nigod. And Nigodya means that you don't even have your own body. So there will be one body, and then in one body, there will be infinite living beings living in just one body. And then there will be birth and ek shwas mein 8-10 bar, like 18 times birth and death keeps happening. And when you come out of that, then you have certain period to be in these 4 gatis, like any other form, like Tiryanj or Manushya. Of course, Nigodya is also type of Tiryanj, but like not ek indri, do indri, teen indri, char indri. And then you have certain life of human, you have certain life of other types. So there is whole calculation in our Karnani Yoga. But if you don't make a good use of that cycle, then you again end up in the Nigodya, and then we don't know when we will get to come out of that. But that's out of this class. Right now, we just want to understand that it's a cycle. And yes, we all have done this infinite times. It's just that we don't remember. Because when we go from one life to another, we don't remember what happened in the previous life.
So
And
basically,
of course, we don't know what is going to happen in the future either.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
What was I before I was a human?
Nobody knows. Even I don't know what I was. Okay. If anybody who has the knowledge, previously people were there who had knowledge, like Muniraj, probably some Muniraj still do, but they can see and they can tell you what you were in your previous birth or what you will be in your next birth, that kind of knowledge. But now with the time, that knowledge is getting less and less. But the important point is not to worry about all that, and then just understand that whatever knowledge our God has given, that's enough for us to become a God, become like him. So everything else is not that important to learn. Okay, any other questions before we move on? All right. So for us to understand right now with these young minds is that there are 4 gatis. Okay. That is important part that you have to remember. Manushya gati, Dev gati, Tiryanj gati, Narak gati. We should know all these 4 gatis. Okay. बाद में बात करेंगे. Okay, so what are the 4 types of gati we just talked about? Dev gati, Manushya gati, Tiryanj gati, and Narak gati. This slide is talking about the same thing one more time. Now, okay, who wanted to read next? Stuti, can you read whatever is written under Manushya gati?
That Manushya Gati. When any living being dies elsewhere, gains Manushya body and status, and its state is called Manushya Gati.
Okay. Who wants to read about? Okay, what did you read? That when any living being dies elsewhere and gains Manushya body, then that state is called Manushya Gati. Okay, yes, Myra, can you read Dev Gati, please?
When any living being dies elsewhere and gains Deva body, then that state is called Deva Gati.
Yes. Avni Shah. Avni is the name of the child, or? What is your name? Somebody logged in as Avni Shah. They raised their hand. Okay, no worries. Who wants to read Tiryanj Gati? Yes, Himadri, you want to read Tiryanj Gati?
Mommy, move it. 1 minute. Mommy, move it. When any living being
Dies.
eyes were elsewhere and gains
Gains.
gleans
Tiryanj.
body.
Mhm.
Then that start
Mm.
is called Tiryanch Gati.
It's called Tiryanj Gati. Okay, Abhiraj, you want to read next Narak Gati?
When any living being
Abhiraj.
dies elsewhere and gains Narak body, then that state is called Narakati.
Very good. So pretty much all the Gatis pretty much have the same kind of definition, right?
They don't have a story.
Yeah. So when any living being from anywhere, they die somewhere and then come into Manushya body, then they are considered in Manushya Gati. Let's say if we die from here and go to heaven, then we'll have the body of the people, how they are in heaven, then we will be considered in Dev Gati. If somebody dies and then go to Naraka, they will have the body of a person who is supposed to be in Narak. So they will be in Narak Gati. And if somebody dies and becomes a dog or a cat or lion or whatever animal, then they will be considered in Tiryanj Gati. So that is all clear? Does it make sense? That if somebody, basically, if anyone is born in as a Manushya, they will be considered in Manushya Gati. If anybody is born as animal, they will be considered in Tiryanj Gati. If anybody goes to hell, they will be considered in Narak Gati. And anybody who is in heaven, they are considered in Dev Gati. Is that simple enough? Yeah? Okay. Now, whatever we learned so far, is there anything that you did not understand or that doesn't make sense? Any question is fine. No? Everybody understood everything? No questions on how we go from one gati to another gati, or there is no multiple birth, or yes, Myra?
So when we grow, does our Atma grow?
very, very good question. Yes. Yes. The answer is yes. But now, how does it grow? What do you mean by grow? Tell me.
While we are growing, does it grow also with us?
By you mean in terms of dimension? Yes, it does. So let's say, do you play with bubbles?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you blow bubbles, right? It
Yeah.
starts small. When you start blowing the bubble, it starts small, but as you keep on blowing until it bursts, it gets as big as it can, right? Based on the solution. So what it means that there are smaller bubbles and there are bigger bubbles. So what is the difference between the smaller bubbles and bigger bubbles? Smaller bubbles, less amount of air. Bigger bubbles, more amount of air, right? Yeah. So, but in the bubble inside, in that layer, the air is like fully, it's not like the bubble is this big, but air is this much. Whatever is the area of the bubble, that much is the area of the air too. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you are a kid, your soul is inside your body, right? But as you grow big and your body becomes bigger, the soul also expands in there. Does that answer your question?
So how much we grow big, the soul grows too.
Yeah. So if we become a giant tomorrow, the soul will also be giant inside us.
So if we grow higher and higher, that will become the same inch.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So how do you expect the soul to be inside ant's body? Tell me, if all the souls are same,
It be tiny.
yeah, it would be the size of ant, and it would be the shape of ant too.
Okay, it would be the size as how we grow.
Yeah. So let's think about this. Like, have you heard about the people who have like 6 fingers?
Mm,
Yeah, Abhiraj is
no,
saying yes. So
no.
then let's say if everybody, all the humans have 5 fingers, so maybe the soul should be in 5 fingers, and then the 6th finger will not have anything in there. It's not like that, right? So whatever is your body, your soul will have to just slip into that. However it is. If you are in the body of a tiny man, then your soul will be like that. If your height is 5'3", your soul will be probably a little bit less because it has to fit inside your body. But if your height is 5, then it will still fit inside your body. If your height is 4, then it will still fit inside your body. Yes, Myra.
So I know a person who acted in a movie. He has 6 fingers because of an extra thumb.
Yeah, so that 6th finger will have his soul inside or no?
No.
No.
Yes.
Sometimes they have.
Oh, do they get?
They're born with it.
So they can grab longer things.
Yeah.
So basically they have one. So they have some here, some here, some here, some.
No, it's just double. That's okay.
Oh,
It's okay. It's not important. What I'm trying to say is that let's say tomorrow we'll see a person with the 4 hands. Will it happen that the person have soul inside the 2 hands, but the other 2 hands will not have soul? If you don't have soul inside that, then you won't feel any pain, because the soul only can feel pain or feel pleasure. So wherever our body is, the soul will be equally distributed there. Okay? Yes, Ira.
My friend, he has 6 fingers.
Yeah. So you should ask your friend that the 6th finger, does it feel pain and pleasure? If it does, that means it has soul in there.
He even has 6 toes.
He must be lucky.
Mama. So
Okay, it is time for us to say bye. Yes, Abhiraj, you have a question before we leave.
there is someone in Arohi's class, and she has 6 fingers in one hand, but 5 in one hand.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, I just gave that example because just to say that whatever our body type is, our soul just spread out across. Okay, it's not like it will be somewhere and it will not be somewhere. It is everywhere. Okay, in every inch of our body, the soul is there. All right. With that, we'll continue in the next class, and I want to see all of you. Okay. I'll see you next week. Jai Jinesh.
There's a tongue going on the side.
Jai Jinesh, everyone.
Jai Janan. Bye 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 bye. See you. Bye bye. Bye bye to you. Bye bye all. Janan.